I'm Susan. Welcome to Tea and Games. The tea today, actually this afternoon, is Yorkshire Gold. This update is a little bit overdue, and so I'm going to run through a few things very quickly before we get to the games. I haven't made a video in a while, and that's because I have chronic health problems. And most of the time I just kind of push through. And I've discovered that making a video when I don't feel able to make a video, no one can tell. But nevertheless, it's a bit of a strain on me. So I've had a very long string of bad days, like weeks worth. So at this point, I'm just not pushing through. Going forward, I will probably not be making videos on a weekly basis or attempting to, no matter how bad I feel, make videos on a weekly basis. I'm just going to make them when I actually feel well enough to make them. So, having gotten that little personal note out of the way, and I thought about telling y'all, it's like before and just saying I can't always do this, but I thought, no, I want to do this, so I'm gonna do this even if I don't feel like doing this, and that's just not working for me anymore right now. However, I do have some updates, game related stuff here. We have not yet gotten to play the expansion thing of Turn Taxes that I got at Pelican, because I haven't really felt like learning a new game. I did play the regular version of Turn Taxi on Board Game Arena because a friend of mine knows how to play, and I just muddled my way through. He said it was a good digital adaptation for what it's worth. I was a little bit lost at times. I didn't really start getting the hang of it until the game was just about over, but yeah, that's just kind of a thing. But we do still intend to play that, along with a lot of other games that are at the end of the table when I feel like learning a new game, which is, learning a game is sometimes harder than playing a game. Not the games that I have in front of me now, though. These were actually very easy to learn. And you may recognize, well, actually not this one, but you may recognize these. There's a stack of 3 here. The bottom seems to be cut off of the stack on the video. Are games that we checked out of the library and played while we were at Pelican. And I have now acquired physical copies. We have played them right here on this table, so it's like they've been played. As a matter of fact, Jaipur, which is a nifty little 2-player trading game, we've played that quite a bit, both on the table and on Board Game Arena. Now, on Board Game Arena, you'll get this weird little thing that says you really should be playing this real-time, not turn-based. But I don't know why, because I've played it turn-based and real-time on Board Game Arena, and it plays perfectly well either way. And I will also say that I can play this on my phone. There are not so many cards laid out that it's going to be difficult to do anything. The actions are very easy to take, so this one is one that you could play on your phone. So that is Jaipur, if you want to do Board Game Arena or put it on your table. We like it a lot. And I might add, it does have a little bit of setup, in the sense that you see these coins and stuff here. They need to be stacked, like the different things that you're trading need to be stacked with the values, high values to low values for each of the different things. But if you put them away that way, then you can just take them out that way. And same thing for the bonus tokens. Now, one thing is, Jaipur's structure of it is you're actually playing best 2 out of 3 rounds. So in a way, you can kind of think of it, because it's such a very small, fast game, as best 2 out of 3 games, So when you play it, it's best 2 out of 3 rounds. And you have to pick up all the tokens, stack them back into their correct order, and pick up all the cards and shuffle them, and then do the game layout again for each round. Which I don't find too onerous. You've got 2 people, we can sort the tokens pretty quickly and stuff like that. But the advantage of Board Game Arena is you don't have to do that. I mean, basically, you start the game, it is set up, you play the first round. When the end of the round is triggered, then it just tallies up everything for you and lays it all out again. So that is one advantage there, though I don't find the putting on the table thing and basically doing a full setup for each round to be that onerous. It's a very small game. We have also gotten and played Space Base. Those of you who saw my Pelican videos may remember that Space Base was a game that we learned at Pelican, but did not actually get a chance to play. We just played through some sample turns because it was the end of day. We're running out of days. I was starting to get a bit punchy, and I needed food. And we needed to get home because of the stuff that I mentioned in the other video. So yeah, we only learned it and played some sample rounds. After that, I played it live a couple of times with friends on Board Game Arena, and then we got our own copy. By the way, Barnes & Noble, at least our local one, does carry this, though we actually got it from our local board game store. But those of you who don't have a handy nearby board game store that doesn't have it in stock might want to check a local Barnes & Noble, if you're in the U.S., of course. I know I do have viewers in other countries. But this is a fast game. It is nifty. It is fun. There isn't a lot of downtime because when you roll the dice, you do something, and everybody at the table may also be able to do something on your dice roll, depending upon what they plugged into the various slots on their boards. So you're always looking at what's happening during the game. You're not just waiting for somebody to take their turn and then waiting for another person to take their turn. I know I don't really have a lot of trouble with that because I just think about games while other people are taking their turns, but I know downtime is something that really bugs a lot of people. This game doesn't have a whole lot of that. And it's a lot of fun. It's not heavy at all. It's pretty easy to table, actually. And as I said, we have played the physical copy as well as the Board Game Arena copy. One thing I will say is that when we played it live on Board Game Arena, we had a little bit of trouble like assigning the charging cubes for the cards that needed charging cubes. That was a little bit fiddly, but it could just be that none of us really knew how we were supposed to do it. So yeah, maybe want to read the tutorial on that one. Let me see if I need to mention anything else. Let me see. We also have been playing Century Spice Road. I have played this both live and turn-based on Board Game Arena, and we've also played this copy on the table. It is a fast little spice trading game. It plays well at 2, but it is, unlike the other spice trading game, is actually designed for more players. 4, I think. 2 to 5. Oh, one more player than I had thought. So we are enjoying this a lot. It is something of a classic, and there is a version with different artwork. The Gollum edition, as I understand it, it's the same game, just different art. And there are expansions for these, and I have not gotten any expansions because we're just still enjoying the base game. Let me see. Yes. Also, there were a couple of other Board Game Arena notes that I wanted to make. I played a 5-player Ticket to Ride Europe on Board Game Arena. You don't want to do that on your phone. It's too small, and mistakes were made. I made some mistakes in that First of all, because I'm used to playing it at two-player, Robert and I never use stations. We never have to. We can always find a way through on our route or run out of time trying. You know, it's legit without stations at two players. But at five players, you absolutely have to use stations. That board was utterly and completely and totally packed. And it was very frustrating because I didn't really understand how to use stations. And so consequently, I got a station thinking that it was going to connect me through these other trains to my other route. Basically connect two routes because I had some overlap right in the middle of my routes. But the station was only counted for the longest ticket, not the other one. So the other one was like minus points for me. So that made me very, very unhappy after me working so hard to put it all together. And then I got new destination tickets after marking time for a little while, trying to figure out what I was going to do. And the new destination ticket I got was one that I only needed to drop one train down and things would be connected, no problem. But after I did that, I looked at the ticket and the ticket I got was not the ticket that I thought I had gotten. So somehow or other, I managed to get a different ticket. And that whole getting tickets that you didn't intend to get thing, I wasn't actually the only player that had that problem with it. So I think the game probably works okay, but it is not beyond the realm of difficulty that there could be problems with you playing Ticket to Ride Europe with stations or tickets or whatever. Because that happened. And that's probably the only reason why I didn't end up dead last, is because other players were having even worse problems than I was. So yeah, I actually ended up in the middle of the pack, which just shocked me because I felt like I was doing very badly. And this being a turn-based game, and this is a downside to Board Game Arena, if you get into a long, involved game and you're not doing well, and you're not doing well in such a way that either because of the game mechanics don't allow for catching up or because you've just dug yourself into a really deep hole, then what it basically means is instead of playing out a game on a table that's going very badly and there's no hope, and it might last for max a couple of hours, you're going to be stuck in that game for days, weeks, months. And that's something to keep in mind on Board Game Arena. If you're playing a game that is extremely unforgiving, meaning if there's a screw up, there's no way you're coming back from it, then maybe you want to think about playing that real time. Because otherwise, if you're playing it turn-based, particularly at some of the slower turn-based things, then basically you could be grinding out a game with absolutely, utterly no hope for weeks and months. So, because, I mean, a lot of the more complicated, unforgiving games are also the longer games. But yeah, I think it was just kind of bad luck in some ways with Ticket to Ride Europe. It was just, everything just kind of was kind of messy. I don't think it was particularly a bad implementation or one of those games that you want to avoid. Though, don't do it on your phone. It's just, there's just too many cards and too big of a board for, a space that big. So yeah, there was that. I also played Six Nymph, which is the American version of it, or English language version, I should say, is called Take Five. It's actually got an anniversary edition out, which is what we put on the table here. This game is a really great, fun, fast game live, either on Board Game Arena or on the table. We played it turn-based on Board Game Arena, and it took a long time. I think there was 4 or 5 of us in the game. It took a long time, and the game just didn't have that snap and sparkle it had when we played it live, either on the table or a real-time game on Board Game Arena. So that's something to be aware of. It's a great game, but that's one, unlike Jaipur, that really should have that warning. You really don't want to play this turn-based. Very fun if you're doing it live, but not so much turn-based. But yeah, that was one other note I wanted to make about that. Let me see. Do I have any other notes? My notes are very, very messy. They are all over the place here. Let me see. I mentioned the games that we played at Pelican. We have ordered Obsession through our local game store, but it is currently out of print. They say that I checked on the publisher's website. I mean, it was in print at the time I ordered it, and before they could actually get it into the store, I guess maybe their distributor was already out, but yeah, it's out of print on the publisher's website, though they say they will restock in May. So we've got it like back ordered from our local board game pusher. But another thing to keep in mind is I've mentioned I want to play Fromage on Board Game Arena to try it out and decide whether I want to get it. Fromage is out of print. I mean, you may know some store that still has a copy, but our local game store sold out and there's just no getting a copy anywhere in this area. So, and like I said, I wanted to play it on Board Game Arena first, but there's a reprint campaign for it that's tagged onto a new game campaign for an expansion standalone game called Formaggio that's on Kickstarter right now. Look for the Kickstarter for Formaggio, not Fromaggio, Formaggio, and that is a standalone game and expansion for Fromaggio. That is live on Kickstarter right now. So, I mean, the cheese game will be coming back into print, and by the time it does, maybe I will have had a chance to play it and decide whether or not I want it. I haven't really been backing much on Kickstarter. I have backed one thing on Kickstarter, and as of this video, it is still live, and that is I have backed a playing card game called Garden Canasta. Mind you, I know how to play a number of playing card games, but Canasta isn't actually one of them. But the artwork and the story behind how this game came to fruition, and these people have done other playing card games, just was such that I was just kind of charmed by it, and I decided to give it a go. It comes with 4 decks of cards, and there are fairy and gnome cards that take the place of jokers. And the 4 cards are color coded in seasons, which is kind of nifty. The 4 decks, and it's like 50, 54, 53, 2, whatever cards per deck. Oh gosh, my brain is just gone today. It's what I get for doing this in the afternoon. The caffeine is wearing off. So yeah, anyhow, that was a thing that I backed. It is still live. Seems like a fairly good deal to get 4 decks of cards, but also it's for Garden Canasta and Hand and Foot, which is a canasta variation, and it also includes some homebrewed rules that they've played with their family for years, so I thought that was kind of nifty. Nifty's kind of what I'm going for a lot today. Let me see. Oh yeah, I got one more thing, but first, more game stuff. Deadbolt Mystery Society does these solving mystery, puzzle, escape room, mystery, murder mystery kind of things, boxes. They are subscription boxes, but you can buy some of the boxes individually. And they have mini mysteries, which are smaller, and they have print and play mysteries, which I believe are also lighter. But at the time, I've heard a lot of good things about them. A lot of people I know love these things. You know, some people just get a subscription for a while, stack up like a horde of mystery boxes, cancel the subscription, and then they've got like a stash that they play through because it's a monthly subscription. But most people, unless you're really addicted to these kind of things, are not going to be playing them absolutely every month, particularly if you have limited time to play, because this does take a few hours. They had a sale just at the time that I happened to be looking at the website the last time. They had some of their regular boxes on sale. So I got 3 of them to kind of space out through the season, snowbound, because we're right here at the end of winter. Actually, it's already spring here, but I got snowbound for our winter one, and we worked it, and it was okay. We worked most of the puzzles. We did better at it than I thought we would, considering we had never played anything at all, even remotely like this whole mystery solving in a box thing. We've never done any escape rooms. We've never done any exits or any of those things. So we did okay. There was one puzzle we never solved that we could not figure out actually how it tied into the things because we figured out everything else. And there was one puzzle, one password that we never got. And after we had solved everything else, we went back and looked at it, and we were not really quite sure how you could have possibly gotten that password. But that could just be us because we've never done this kind of thing before. But we did figure out what was going on and who done it. And I am looking forward to doing some more of these. The others that we've got, I've gotten a stack over there. We got Blood in the Water, which is a shark attack plus murder mystery. And I'm going to do that sometime in the summer, you know, when it's Jaws season. We'll tackle that one then. And we got, oh, what was it? Creatures of the Night was the other one. And I think it's like vampires or werewolves or something. So I think we'll wait and save that for sometime closer to Halloween. So yeah, that's some things that we did. That really took a big chunk of a Saturday though, because we're not really accustomed to doing these things. This is one of those things that I think basically the more we do them, the better we will get at doing them, because I feel like that part of it is being able to think like the puzzle creators think. So that was very interesting and we enjoyed it. And I will maybe eventually let you know how all of those other things went. And now I have a couple of nifty YouTube notes, some shout outs to my fellow content creators. A Meeple Family is back. Amber is back making videos over on the A Meeple Family channel. I will put a link to it over there. Her daughter became gravely ill a couple of years ago. I mean, just scary ill, and was for a very long time. But she's recovering now, finally. And Amber's back making board game videos. As a matter of fact, she's got a top list video that is going on right now. So you might want to pop over to A Meeple Family and check it out. And the other is a brand new channel out of Italy called the Cozy Spellboard. If you like nice, cozy, warm, laid-back, low-key kind of board game videos, you might want to go over there and check hers out. She tagged me in her very first video, and that was just so nice, and I am tagging her back. You need to go and take a look. And I will put a link to her channel down below as well. I'm thinking those of you that also subscribe to Jenna's channel over at A Board Game Garden, you might also like the Cozy Spellboard as well, because it's very chill. So yeah, check those out. And I think that is pretty much everything for now. And I will see you when I'm feeling better. Thanks for watching. Bye.